Yikes.
What? We're live.
But have you ever thought, what if this is all just a dream? And we're just waiting in line to wake up? And most people think I'm insane. Once you realize that all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you a prisoner of your own mind.
It is.
And we have volume now. This is the V&O. Where anything can go wrong. V&O, what you know? Welcome back to the V&O. This is crazy. I'm here with Sonia Martinez and Ben, her son. Sonia, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Sonia Martinez. My business is I'm a life coach. I'm the head coach. My company is Fierce Fit 5. And I aim to help people raise their baseline, so to speak. I take a holistic approach and just help people make positive change and sustainable change in their lives.
No doubt.
This is my son, Ben. Ron, I told him about this podcast and he wanted to be on, and I said, absolutely. So Ben continues to amaze me with the way that he views the world and takes ownership of his life.
You gave me these notes and I started to look over them, and you're like, so my son Ben, he wants to talk on these topics. And I'm like, I started to look at the notes, and I'm like, is this dude 50 years old? Like, I'm reading
like
over
the,
this. This does not sound like it came from a 14-year-old.
was that the one in like the actual notes?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna get to that. Fierce Fit 5. That's your life coaching business. I started to look. So I'm not. This is the VNO. I'm always truthful on here. Sonia, like everybody does. Everybody does this. I say, are you ready to be on the VNO? I'm all excited. And they're like, I don't know. I'm a little scared.
I'm very scared.
and I'm like, why? You know, and I told them like, this is what I do. Like, I can get on here. I've literally had episodes where I talk 2 hours by myself. So I said, there's no reason to be scared. I said, and you're bringing your granddad with you with the knowledge. So like, if we'll handle it, you know, we'll handle it. But as we sat down and we talked, what usually happened. And I think I asked you, you know, how did this all start? Like, how did Fierce Fit 5 start? It's actually a funny story. Can you tell us not even about Fierce Fit 5, how did you even get the unction to know that you wanted to start your own deal?
So it started before I ventured out into life coaching. I worked for an asphalt company, and I had kind of moved up through the ranks there, and they started this this journey. They call it their values-based journey. And they hired a consultant to come in and help the organization really define why they existed and their values as an organization and what mattered to them and the vision that they wanted for their company. And I was fortunate enough to be in the role as executive assistant when they started this journey. And so I got to be present during these sessions and participate. And you know, what the leadership coach brought was all these personal exercises that we had to do that revolved around values and why we did the things that we did. You know, we had some personality assessments, we had some leadership assessments. We asked for feedback from our coworkers, from our family, and really got to dig in and learn a lot about ourselves. And as I continued on this journey, I became the employee relations manager and eventually the director
of HR. You didn't even have an HR before, right?
Yeah, we didn't have an HR department before, and they had asked me to kind of take on this role and create it. And I was very, very excited to do that. And one of the things that I got to do was to coach some of our employees. And I really love that part of the job. And as we went through these leadership exercises, you know, I was learning more about myself, and I finally came to the point where I was like, I like the coaching part of it,
right,
and I don't like the rest of this work. And you know, at the same time, there were some personal things going on that really had made me question not necessarily what I was doing with my life, but how I wanted to spend my time and how I was making an impact.
Right.
And so it led me to the decision to leave the company.
So check this out. The company said, we want to get better by making our employees better. And as I'm listening to her talk, when we were talking before, I'm listening to you talking. So you're like, yeah, so we took these personal assessments and then we learned so much about ourselves. And I said, and as you're talking, like, it just hit me, like the way everything summed up in my head was, you found out that you don't want to work here no more. They gave you this person. What if they lost like half their employees because they gave these personal assessments? And like, you know, like, I want to be a giraffe. I don't want to be here. What was that, man?
I was just gonna agree. Like, that's what it sounded like.
They paid all this money to assess you guys, and then you figure out like, yeah, this is like, I figured out that I'm great at this and I don't want to be here anymore. So, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like
no, it wasn't. You know, not totally. You know, if you want to break it down in the simplest terms, yeah, it was.
Right.
But it was really an interesting transition because so the company had defined these values and really said that people matter to them. And when I went to my boss and I said, you know, here's where my head is at, here's what I want to do, they turned out to be very supportive.
Right.
And you know, going out on your own is a very scary thing, and you know, you still have financial obligations that you need to take care of. And I've got my son, I have a daughter as well. And so, you know, we tried to work and see if there was still a fit for me there while I was pursuing this.
Right. Time's out. Did we just end International Women's Week? I said
I
time.
believe so.
I
think it was the day.
It was the day,
it's the whole
but
month.
it's the whole month celebrating women. Man, that's exceptional. First of all, I mean, I'm not just women do that, but I mean, you had 2 kids, and I don't know what your support system looks like outside of you, but it sounds like you had to take the leap of faith and you had to like kind of provide some things, and you still you jumped. That's wild to me. I mean, it's a lot of people that don't, you know, that'll have a dream and they'll never live it because they won't take the leap, and you did it. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's still a scary place to be, but
right.
but I do feel like it was the right move.
Yeah.
You know, I don't regret it.
Yeah, no takesy backsies now.
Yeah, right.
No, it's done.
Yeah. No, it was definitely the right move for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm able to help a larger group of people in this way.
Right. So what did you do? What was your move after you decided that? So you had your last day. What was your first day like as an entrepreneur? And I think I kind of I didn't jump the gun, but you also explained. You'll go ahead and explain to us that you did like get something else to like, you know, to kind of for support, right?
Yeah. So during so while I was transitioning, the gym that I belonged to had an opportunity. They were looking for a coach, and I have my personal training license. So I raised my hand. I said, "Hey, I want to do this," and so they made space for me. So I do a couple. I was doing a couple days a week there while I was still working full time.
Okay.
And so I had that, but then you know, you need benefits and a steady paycheck, and you know, so so I was looking for another position, and I landed as a clinical assistant for a chiropractor firm.
Okay.
Chiropractor's office, and so I help patients there through their therapies. You know, design exercise programs for them. Rehab and stretching and stim. So
which is which is where we are right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Which the dope part is this: when you take that leap, amazing things start to happen. And like you told me, you said that this kind of opened up to where you did your training. I think you did training like what in the mornings or during 2 days. What 2 days in a week?
Yeah, so it was Wednesday. Yeah, it's really amazing how it all worked out. So you know, I had no idea how it was going to work out.
Right.
And I almost didn't apply for the job at the chiropractor office. The ad was, you know, personal trainers looking for a change. You know, something really, and it's like, what does that mean? And they didn't really talk about much about the business in the description, and then like something about it kept catching my eye, so I finally applied. But so when I came in to talk to the doctor, the office was closed on Wednesdays and Fridays, and those were the days that I was already doing the group exercise.
Okay.
So that schedule worked out. And he was also very supportive of me having my own business, and offering up this space, you know, like we're here now. So this is where I meet with my clients. You know, so I don't have to do it out of my home or worry about, you know, finding some private place to meet. And, you know, again, overhead costs and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I really couldn't have landed a better situation, and that, you know, I get that, support with a steady paycheck
Right.
and benefits and all of that, and then I get support on the personal side
Yeah.
to grow as a person.
Where you usually don't get that. Who was I? I was talking to somebody. Who was I talking to? It was okay, who did I talk to last? I talked to everybody. I literally talked to people in the grocery store. I was talking to somebody, and I was not talking to anybody. I was listening to another podcast, and I love to listen to podcasts about success stories and entrepreneurship. And this cat was he was in the Army, I think, and so he had a business where he would a transport business where he would like transport people from transport soldiers on base. If they went out drinking, he would transport them back to the
Okay.
base. So, because people were getting DUIs left and right, you know what I mean? Like they get a weekend off, they come driving back on base and they wouldn't even make it or they get a DUI. So, he started this transport business. They shut him down. Like he was doing a good thing, but
Oh,
like
wow.
it was some clause in the rules which said that he couldn't do this. He couldn't have a business. So like now you're talking about he was doing something like you're Fierce Fit 5, you know, and you work at a chiropractor. They kind of go together, but not really. You are literally keeping soldiers, bro, from from DUIs, from going to jail. And they were like, nope, you know,
Yeah.
and sometimes things happen like that. And you know, for this to happen for you, where you actually they're like, yeah, this is great. Go use the building, go brand yourself, market yourself, you know, whenever you want to come in. That's unheard of, but I think it happened because you took the leap, and I'm learning through my own endeavors that when you jump out there, things start to happen. Me and you were talking, and you said, you know, you asked me how I got started, and with the podcast, and I was like, man, just a whole lot of mistakes, and like you said, you just jumped in, right?
Right.
Yeah, you just got to jump. Like sometimes you don't know uh, how to do these things, and you just kind of just roll with it and jump in.
Right.
Ben, what was you? I saw one of your points that you had.
I don't even remember them.
You know,
I wrote them down. I wrote them down. I typed them on my phone, and I was planning on looking at them later, but I never did.
Okay. So I'm gonna do this. I haven't talked to my man in a while, but I ran your show last week. My man Zell. Let's go ahead and check this.
Hi everybody, I'm Jay.
What's good, everybody? And I'm Zell.
And this is M3, where we talk about everything marriage, motivation, money, and more.
Yo, so tell the good people how they can check us out.
You can check us out every Thursday right here on YouTube.
If you miss an episode, you'll be uplifted, motivated, inspired, and you might learn a thing or two before we prove it.
Hi everybody, I'm Jay.
What's good, everybody? And I'm Zell.
And this is M3, where we talk about everything marriage, motivation, money, and more.
Yo, so tell the good people how they can check us out.
You can check us out every Thursday right here on YouTube.
If you miss an episode, you'll be uplifted, motivated, inspired, and you might learn a thing or two before we prove it.
Yo, y'all go check out my man Zell and his wife Joan. Marriage, motivation, money, and more on YouTube. Go back and check that link out. I wanted to run that because I had to get production materials. I had to get up because I wanted to give Ben his points. I don't want you to just sit there.
I have them on my phone if it's easier for me to just.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ben, this ain't a test.
I'm ready.
I got up. You really made me get up and go all the way over there.
Why did?
It's all good, man. I'm messing with you.
There's all the points. I don't know which one.
Okay.
you're focusing on.
And you came up with these.
Yeah.
I
It was like the night after. She's like, just have like a few talking points. So I just typed them on my phone.
Okay. So the reason I said he was 50 years old, because seriously, there are people that are my age that don't get this. And I'm skipping over a little bit, and I want you to go back. But one of the points you have is accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing you say is take responsibility. You're responsible for yourself, your things, and your health.
Yeah.
Read that for us, man. That's
the whole thing.
Yeah, just the accountability one.
I said I've learned that the importance of it, and you can't blame other people, and you have to take accountability for your own things. Especially I learned that mostly from wrestling,
Okay.
because you gotta make weight. It's on you.
Yeah.
It's you control your diet outside of practice.
Yep.
And you control how much you work in practice.
Yeah.
And after a while, you'll start to become more self aware about it.
Yeah.
Because like when you take accountability, like so when I focus on like I know what I'm doing, and know what I'm eating to make weight,
hmm
then or like whatever else the situation is, then you become more self aware, and you're like, oh, you like actually see what you're doing.
Right. The thing is, man, I'm 40 years old, bro, and I still have things that I took from sports. When I was in football, I was telling somebody about my track coach. He was, for lack of better words, my man was crazy. He was, so I did. He was absolutely insane. I did pole vault, and we most of the time in track we didn't do anything that pertained to our events. We stayed in the wrestling room until the middle of the season, and we would go into the season. And when I say stayed in the wrestling room, this dude would have us doing. I think most of us by the end of the season were able to crank out 500 push-ups like it was nothing. From the shot putters, the big guys, all the way down to the small guys. Anybody that comes on here, tell them about Coach J. Just drop a Coach J in the comments, because dude was insane. So what he would do for some of us pole vaulters is there was a fear of pole vaulting. You go, you know, I mean, you know what pole vaulting is, yeah. So there was a fear of like your feet leaving the ground and going. So he's like, some days he wouldn't tell us what we were gonna do. So he's like, let's go to the pool. Like, okay, go to the pool. Okay, so what do we do? One time he had to swim laps. That sucked. And then, so I think he would play with our minds to where, like, so next time we go to the pool, we would think we were swimming laps again. And we're like, we get ready to swim laps. He's like, what are you doing? Nobody told you to get in the pool. We were like, well, what are we doing? And it was like like 5 or 6 of us. He's like, go to the top of the high dive and walk to the edge and just wait, and I'll tell you what to do. So we walk to the edge. He'd be like, turn around. I want you to do like a half flip and do like a twist. And you don't really say anything back to him. You don't question him. You go and you try to do it, and of course you fail miserably. And he knows that this is going to happen, and you bust your head on the water, and all you could hear is him laughing. And then you get out and you go and do it again. And it got to the point, man, where everybody was pretty much fearless. We would just, knowing that we might hurt ourselves, and some of the dives we actually learned how to do. Most of them, like when you finally figured out how to do a dive, he would just switch it up on you so that you hurt yourself again. I mean, not that you would hurt yourself. You're not killing yourself, but you just know that you just dive right in. You know what I mean? And I think I kept that with me. And as I hear you talk about accountability, that's not just wrestling, man. Like keep that everything with you. It's everything. It's so many people that blame other people for their woes, or for oh, I lost. It's because coach didn't do this. You hear professional athletes still doing this. Bro, you are a professional. It's not your coach's fault. It's more than likely it's your fault that you failed,
But my last my sports, especially with soccer, like we had a big accountability with our bags and stuff, and being on time. If we were late, however late we were, like however many minutes, it's how many we do these things called 120s. You have like 20 seconds to sprint across the field, and you get a 40-second recovery.
Right.
So every minute someone was late, we'd have to do those.
Yeah.
And missing shots. Every time you missed a shot, you have to do 20 burpees.
Yeah. Wow. Miss a shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's horrible.
Even in games too.
Yeah, right?
Really?
So like if you miss a shot in the game, next practice you gotta do it.
So here's the thing, man. And I remember like when we had Saturday practices, our coach would do that. And so of course what you get is kids saying, well, my parents, I don't have any control over them waking up. But it's crazy, man, how accountability works in life. By the end of the season, nobody was late. And it's not because the parents got it.
Yeah.
It's because if you start to realize, okay, my mom is not going to take me serious. So I have to let her know like 3 days in advance that we have to be ready on Saturday. And you learn accountability, and you realize that it really wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
It was my fault because there were steps that I could have taken to alleviate this. And so that first time you late, you blame your parents, and then the second time you late, you blame your parents, and then you get sick of doing burpees. And then whether you got to run, you start at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you run to the school. You're going to get to the school on time because you don't want to do that. And we don't realize how far accountability can take us. I almost died. I almost died a couple times, but my brakes went out, and I told it's funny because I ran this show that I had Zell Cross on, and on that show I told Zell it was that week that the brakes on my car went out while I was on the Dan Ryan downtown Chicago in the morning, and there it was a recall on my car. I don't know if you do automotive, so yeah, there was a recall on my car. Me and you talked. A recall on my car with the brakes. I can't lie, man. I saw that thing sitting on my kitchen table for months.
Didn't do anything about it?
No, didn't do nothing about it. And so, like, when I die, like, do I sit there and like, I know somebody's gonna say, somebody's gonna want to sue Lincoln, and yeah, I mean, of course, lawsuit, get paid. I'm dead. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But when I die, don't blame Lincoln. I saw that sitting there for months, and roundabout, yes, I know they messed up, and it was their fault. But as far as getting it fixed, I had some type of stake in that game. You know what I mean? Like I could have gone and gotten it fixed. How do you tie accountability into your life, Coach?
That's the thing. So in the first session, before I agree to coach anyone, the first conversation with them is always free. And it's just me trying to assess where this person at, what their readiness is for change.
Yeah.
Because if they're not willing to do the work, then there's no sense in us going forward.
You don't even want to take their money, huh?
Right.
Wow.
Right. Because it's my time as well.
Yeah.
So I'm here. I'm giving you the best of me so that you give you the best of you.
Yeah.
So it's an investment and on both ends. So if they're not ready to make the investment and do the work, then they're not the right client for me.
So just so you know that if you that I know you're successful with your business, but the reason you're going to be even more successful is that when I listen to the Social Proof podcast, these people are millionaires. They got a lot of money off of the things that they do, and you hear that. I literally one lady, her name is Donnie Wiggins, and she said her coaching, it might go for like $10,000 for like, what she might dedicate like a month or two to you.
Yeah.
But she has multiple clients, and that's like bottom of the line, and then it goes up from there. You might have some $50,000 clients.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of money. Like, I don't know if I'm to the point.
Level yet,
but you're going to be there because it starts right here. It starts right here and it starts right here. And so you're saying the same thing that she said. And look, man, if I was I'm not a life coach, but if I was a life coach and I sat down in front of you, you had that check sitting there, and I hear it, I'm like, hey, bro, you're gonna have to get up and work out every day, but I still like donuts and I don't like to get up early. I'll look at that check and I'll be like, well, do you? But but no, I mean, but you love what you do so much that you like, I don't even want to waste my time. There's not enough money for me to waste my time with somebody. I would rather go to somebody that's actually going to do the work, and because you get a fulfillment out of that, it's worth more than money.
Right.
The fulfillment that I get out of sitting down with Ben's and Sonia's is well, I don't know if it's worth more than money, but but it's close. It's close. But yeah, so I like to talk about intangibles, and you do realize that that when you made the leap to do this, that one of the intangibles was he didn't really get that from wrestling, bro. You didn't get that from wrestling. Subconsciously, you watched her do this,
yeah,
and there's some schlub that you wrestle with, and he gets taught the same thing about accountability, but he won't write it down, and he don't really even believe it. There's kids your age, they like, yeah, whatever, bro, that was my parents' fault.
Yeah.
But the reason I love intangibles in life, well, sometimes you don't like intangibles because one of the intangibles of not taking my car in for the recall was I almost died. But you get those things that you don't even know. You don't even know who you might encounter, the things that could happen from your one decision, your one positive decision that you made. And I'm here to tell you that you got one right there.
Oh,
yeah. In case you didn't know, 14-year-olds don't talk about accountability. Yeah. But when you see your mom take a leap of faith, and I'm sure that that he can't see you go out and do things because you know you have to do them. You told me that you were in the 5 a.m. crew, and I said, I ain't gonna say what I said, but I said, forget that. I'll be the one that you can slide my check back to me, because like, you got to get up at 5 a.m. and work out. I'm like,
well, that works for me. It doesn't work for everyone. Yeah. I try and get him to go, but that's too late for him as well.
I would go. It's just I have a problem with waking up.
That's a given.
Like I've gotten like 11 hours of sleep, right? Yeah, and still like not able to wake up.
Yeah, it's some people are just, man, look, I told you I'm 40. I'm still, I have to wake up early, but I'm still not a morning person. I do my best work at night. Like that's what I say. I just don't want to get up. I cannot go to bed at 9. I feel like I'm missing something. And if I do go to bed at 9, it's because either I'm sick or I got something to do. But it takes a level of discipline and accountability to get up at 5 a.m. And you say it's fun now. At some point in time, I can almost guarantee you that it wasn't fun. that it was not. It was work.
It was work. It was definitely work.
It was work.
It was.
And but 5 a.m. is where the money's at, though. You know, is that where your clients are at? I'm sure you get clients.
So the people, it's interesting. So the people that are in my group are definitely have some level of discipline in their life. And they get up that early and they make the sacrifice of staying up late or doing whatever. I'm sure that there's things that they're missing out on because it's important to them to make it to that class, to do something for themselves. And that's the thing, it's in order to have the things you want, you need to say no to something else. And so whether it's to say yes to something means you say no to something else. So for me personally, I say no to late nights. And that means sometimes missing time with the kids. So I try and make up for it by the quality of time that we spend together.
Quality over quantity.
That's I like quality. I find myself not. Some people can talk on the phone a lot. Some people stay on the phone. I have literally lost friends because when I was your age, bro, I lost girlfriends just because I just wouldn't call them. And I could like them a lot, but I just always have never liked the phone. I like face-to-face interaction. I like quality conversation. I don't care how much we talk. I got a friend that I was so sad that he was moving. Shout out to you, my man, Randall Turner. He's been with me for about 5 years now. I think maybe 4 or 5 years. 5 years. And we've created this relationship in 5 years that you would think that we've known each other for a lifetime. And it's because sometimes we would just talk once a week. Last time I talked to him yesterday, but last time I talked to him before that was like it's probably like a month or two ago. But we picked right up. But it was because when we have a conversation, it's quality. And some people think that it's how many times that you talk. When was the last time? No. How deep was the last time? How What did you talk about? You know, I don't want to get on the phone and talk about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I want to get on the phone and talk about life issues and things that are going to change my heart, my mind, and everything else that that P.O.I.S.E involves. Tell us about P.O.I.S.E.
So so P.O.I.S.E, so that's that came from, so it's you know, my logo has a flame in it, and it's ignite the fire within and live with poise. And poise references some of the dimensions of wellness. So for me, I take a holistic approach and take into account all aspects of someone's life when they're trying to make a change. So the P is for the physical domain. So are you moving? What kind of exercise are you getting? How are you working your body? O is for occupation. What's your work? How does that factor into your lifestyle and your health? I is for intellectual. I really believe that we should be learning something every day, and feeding our brains as well as our bodies.
No doubt.
And S is for social and spiritual. So we need those connections with other people, and also to a higher power, you know, whatever that is that you believe in. And then E is for the environment that you're in. So, you know, how do you keep your house? What's in your house? You know, what are the things that are surrounding you? And how do they influence your behavior and your thoughts?
Wow, that's good. That's good. So that's your life coaching model.
So yeah. It's so it's encompassing all those dimensions.
Okay. But it centers would you say it centers around physical fitness?
I think physical fitness is the easiest entry point for people.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's pretty accessible. You could start a walking program and just, you know, walk your neighborhood or walk the park or, you know, and it's the easiest way to do something and see a tangible change in yourself. So once you start seeing those changes, then it kind of gives you the encouragement to keep going or to try something else. And like for me, at my gym, you know, we're always pushing each other and challenging each other. And even on the days that I coach and I'm kind of observing the group, so to speak, and watching them work, it's inspiring to see how they challenge themselves. So you kind of get used to, that person went up in weight, or they're modifying this exercise to make it a little bit harder. You know, and it gives you that, especially in the group atmosphere, it really gives you that confidence to try something new without the fear of failure. You know what? Because I got my friends around me and they don't care if I can do this or not. I know they'll be here to spot me, or they'll, you know, they'll encourage me or help me do it next time, you know, whatever it is. And so I really think that's the easiest place to start if somebody wants to make a change in their life.
I think that in life that I've almost mastered looking like I know how to do something.
Fake it till you make it.
I think I haven't mastered it, but like, because people will ask me, people literally, and look, man, when you start a business, fake it till you make it. It's the name of the game. Like, it's a lot of people out here, and like, look, man, I don't like to out people. I like when people step out there, but like, I've talked to people, and like, as you're talking to them, you're like, you don't know what you're talking about, do you? Hey, man, do you? Like, I'm happy that you don't know what you're talking about, because you stepped out there. Not you. You just ran down P.O.I.S.E. I asked, look, y'all, I asked her before the show, just in case. I was like, you, like, if I ask you what P.O.I.S.E is, you know. Shout out to Luke. Mommy made. But it is jumping out there and not being afraid to fail. People ask me, people would ask me, because I was working out a lot. Still work out a little bit, Ben. You know, you hitting it. Well, I still work out a little bit, but when people, I was big, and it's just because I found what worked for me. So people would constantly come to me and ask me. Matter of fact, I just had my buddy Matt, who I still didn't do it. I'm always behind the dime in life. He asked me to make up a workout regimen for him, and my homegirl Angela, she did an amazing job. Shout out to you, Angela. Angela's gonna be dropping a podcast here soon. That's my homegirl here on the BNO Network. But she did an amazing job of losing all this weight. But she wanted to know, like, you know, how do you gain muscle? And so we went in the gym, and I told her. She said, "So how do you do it?" I said, "To failure." She said, "What is that? What does that mean?" I said, "Till you can't do no more." Well, how does that look? That means that you pick up the bar and literally the exercise that you're doing, you can't do it anymore. So then you go to a lower weight until you can't do that anymore. And then you go to, and it's to failure. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Yeah, that's how I got big, until like I almost broke my head, almost dropped weight on my head." And so that's how I do it. But I like, people thought I actually knew what I was doing. So Sonia just said it in so many words. Get out there and do it. If nothing, Ben said it, Sonia said it, I'm saying it. If you are stuck right now on anything in your life, get out there, do it, and have success on your mind, but you might fail. You probably gonna fail.
And if you do, that's the thing. So if you think about it, so all right, I'm gonna try this, and if it doesn't work out, you're still in the same place that you are. So if you're okay with where you're at now, and you want to try something and it doesn't work, okay.
Actually, you're not in the same place that you are. Where you're at is, now I know that doesn't work. You're actually a step ahead. So, you're a step ahead, and that's what you did. But this is working. This is working. You know, Fierce Fit 5 is absolutely is working. When I hear you talk about, you need to open up that section for testimonials on your webpage. I checked that out. I was clicking on it. Like, opening soon. But yeah, it's
I'm waiting for them, Dwayne.
Yeah, right. Wow. You got called out, bro. You got called out. Yeah. See? Oh, somebody ain't working hard enough, huh? This is it's as I was going down there and I was reading through P.O.I.S.E, and it's amazing. I mean, it's like, I'm like, man, you're right. Like, all of this stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna steal this and start living by this. Like, I don't I want to get life coached by Sonia. Grandpa Ben, what you got for us, bro? what's a point? Another one of your points.
When you were talking about how when you were bigger and worked out more, and people asked you what you did.
Yeah.
One of my points I have in here is training, and that training isn't like this isn't the same for everyone.
Yeah.
So someone that's just starting, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, failure works. I do that.
Yeah.
But maybe something else is different for them. I was just saying, training isn't the same. You might have to take more rest days than someone else.
Yeah.
Just depends on where you are.
Yeah.
And
God dang it, Ben! I almost want to cry, because I wish I was. I'm not making fun of you when I call you Grandpa Ben. Like, that's wisdom beyond your years, man. Because you really, some people, man, it's some 50-year-olds that's sitting at home right now and they refuse to try because the point that you just gave them, like, well, I don't know how to train. Well, your training might not even look like mine. You know, you dropping gems, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And you're about the fear of failure. It's also the fear of injury. Like you said, you almost dropped weight on your head. But I mean, that's just part of the process. You gotta be able to push yourself and work harder than you think you might have to.
Yeah. My workouts when I first started, I like to start. I told Sonia I would put on the blinders and I would start with just simple things that I know that I could succeed at. Because when you feel, you said it to me, when you feel that that you have to have some type of success. You might not succeed overall, but if I might have ran that one lap good out of the 4 that I ran, I just fully failed at the other 3. But I'm looking at that one lap to bring me back again the next day. But you have to, I would just get I would do something easy, something that I could see veins popping out, and I just feel like I was strong, and I suck my stomach in, and and you got to get something like a visual just to feel like you succeeded, and I would do that. But then my workout started getting to be like variations of things. Like I started doing weighted dips with a barbell instead of like with the chain around it. So I would put two belts together and grab 100-pound dumbbell and put that 100-pound dumbbell around my waist with two belts, and people would come like, oh, wow, look at that. And it's like, yeah, bro, because somebody stole the chain belt. Like, I know it looks amazing, but like it's just a variation of something else that I was doing. And then I started, and that's because you started, you know what I mean? Because you started and you succeeded. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Going off of that, like how you say you have variations and stuff. Once you start it, then you get more comfortable. You're not scared of failure anymore. You're not scared of being judged or anything. And then you branch out, do more stuff like that, and then you really just like trial and error, find out what works best for you.
No doubt. No doubt. That's exactly. But you got to get out there and start in order to find out what works best for you. Okay, let me go to something that you said in P.O.I.S.E. You talked about your environment. Now, do these go in order, or is it's just that's P.O.I.S.E.?
No, that's just P.O.I.S.E. So there's all these dimensions of wellness, and in some of them we're succeeding at more so than in others.
Yeah.
So maybe you work out every day and you've got your fitness dialed in tight.
Right.
But when you go home, it's just it brings all kinds of stress because your house is a disaster.
Yeah.
And, you hate it, or I wish I could change this or do that. And it's just it's influencing your life in other ways.
Yeah.
So
that's huge. That's wisdom. And I remember when I was a kid, I was as my football coach said, the smartest dumb kid ever, or the dumbest smart kid ever. I made straight A's in school, but I couldn't figure out. I didn't know play football, and it's like I would always hit the wrong gap, or the ball was being handed off over here, and I'm over here. But it was certain things, man, that just didn't click to me, that like just life showed me. I don't know, man. I don't know if something's wrong with me for real. Like, I don't care, because I'm still gonna be successful in life, but. It's just certain things didn't click. My dad always wanted me to make my bed, and it didn't really click to me even until I was an adult. It probably clicked like 2 years ago.
But it clicked.
Yeah, but it clicked about why you would actually do something like that. Can you know why you would do something like that?
No.
Okay.
I still don't. No one's gonna see it while I'm at school.
Yeah.
And then I just go in and mess it up again.
It's about what we talked about going into the gym. It's the sense of accomplishment before you even get out there.
Yeah.
And so it's as I got married when I was young, and what I would do is every year I was to keep myself motivated, I would say something that I did great that year. And it was years where I was like I had my kid. I mean, not to say that that's not great, but I didn't do anything. I mean, I did, but I didn't. You 14. Sorry. But I would try to find like some type of sense of accomplishment. And so like I realized that making your bed is, and I think my dad tried to explain that to me, but I still didn't get it. But it is like before you even walk out the door, if you feel like the need to be down, because our minds defeat us sometimes, and you feel the need to for depression to set in, you have some type of baseline. Scoot over, Sonia. Go like this. Go the other way. Yeah, move towards Ben. Nah, we can't see it. The baseline is like right here behind you. You have
Dude, I literally just looked behind.
You have some type of baseline to go back to, and what is it? You raise the baseline.
So yeah, one of the things I like to tell my clients is that what you're doing here is to raise your baseline.
Yeah.
So we have our life as it is. And we do these things, and people come in and they say, okay, I want to make a change. Here's what it is. And we come up with a plan, and they start taking action to essentially raise their baseline. So here's the level that we operate at, and we want to get to this next level. So here are the steps. Here's what we're going to do in order to get there. And so sometimes on that journey, we come back down, and they say that you perform to the level of your training, which essentially is your habits. So, the better your habits are, the more good habits you are, the higher your baseline goes. So, you start here and you work to get to here. And then, you try something new because you want to get to here, but maybe you come back down. But eventually you're going to get higher.
You're raising that
You're
baseline.
higher. Yeah. So the level that you drop to will eventually be higher. As you continue on your journey.
I got criticism before because people say I'm all over the place, but in my mind, like, I still find my way back. So my original thing that I was saying, and all of this kind of goes together, was we were talking about environment, and I was talking about making your bed, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment, but also what it does is, man, why do they sell different color paint for the wall? Why do they? Art is great. As we look around here, you guys can't see it, but as we look around here, there's art on the wall. There's a plant in the corner. All of this kind of it's a mood enhancer. Why do people get this type of couch instead of that one? Your environment does matter. Down to oh, I don't feel right. People paint. I want to paint the wall a different color. And I never got that as a kid. Like, that's stupid. Just give me a white wall and just like, no, dude, like, that's going to affect you. It's going to affect your mind, your environment. We always talk about the people that we're around, but I'm glad that that's a part of your coaching, is that your environment does affect you. Man, there's a lot of car hoarders around. I don't know. Have you seen these car hoarders out here? No, I'm not knocking car hoarders, man. Like, if you got something, man, by all means, take care of it. But, like, bro, that's not healthy. I'm like, I don't want to knock anybody. Like, if you have a problem, then but there's a problem. I saw this dude the other day. Like, I saw maybe one person in the last, like, 10 years, and then in the past 2 years I see a car hoarder at least once a week. And I saw this one dude. This dude created this nice little space in where his driver's seat is at, and I think he had to have a space where he worked his hand under there, but outside of that, everything. I thought he was moving. Were you saying, Ben? Have you seen the car hoarders?
No.
You have not seen car hoarders. Now that I said something, it's like there's these things called bollards that I do as an iron worker, that we put up in parking lots. And what it does is, if you're walking into the store, it keeps cars from running over pedestrians. And now that I told you that, you will never unsee it. Get ready to see car hoarders, Ben. You'll see
like they're living out of their cars.
Yeah, you will see a bollard. You're gonna see a bollard every day of your life now, and you're gonna be mad at me. But now that I said something about car hoarders, bro, you're gonna see, like, seriously, man. I don't know what it is. I don't even want to get into that. But your environment. I bet you that there's something of people that do hoarding. Is something that it affects within them because of their environment. You know what I mean? I know how I feel like when my room is always messy, but like just even so at work, my space, I have to stop and, like, dude, I don't even know where anything's at, and it affects your brain, your environment, very much so. Who you have in your environment, I think that's a part of P.O.I.S.E too, also.
Yeah, absolutely. The people that you hang around
social.
with, are gonna. You will eventually take on the behaviors of the people that you spend the most time with.
Yes.
And so if you're doing things to to enhance your life and to be a better version of yourself, but you're hanging around with people that do not have that intention for themselves or for you, they'll do everything in their power to keep you down. And they'll do it unconsciously.
Yeah.
You know, just because you know, we are social creatures and we don't like change.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't.
Do you see that in friend groups or?
Yeah.
With is it like in sports or just in general or?
Just in general.
That were one person. I mean, in team sports, man, one person can ruin a whole team. I mean, do we remember who just got traded? Somebody just got traded. You keep up with sports?
I don't, but like in one of my classes, like I kind of talk about sports and like I know.
Basketball.
I think it was someone with the Bulls.
I did hear about that, but I think was it who? Okay, look,
I know
late.
The Blackhawks got rid of a lot of their star players.
Really?
But,
yeah, because you're great at what you do, but you can be a cancer, and one person being great, you can ruin 20 other people. I would rather have 20 mediocre people than one person that's great at it, but you're a cancer. You're toxic. It's the people, and I don't know why negativity just like negativity will ruin a lot of positivity.
Yeah.
Like just as humans, I don't know how that works. You know, that's why you have to stay positive. It is the power of positive thinking. We're not talking about the power of positive thinking where you say like this brownie is not going to make me gain weight. It absolutely is. That's positive thinking, but it's not. That's not reality. But sometimes, man, like.
Well, the brain remembers bad things in order to keep us safe.
Is that what it is?
So that's we have a tendency to remember the bad things so that we don't repeat them because we don't like the way that it makes us feel.
Right.
So, you know, we kind of default to that.
I think of the stupidest things in the most serious moments. I mean, I just laughed because I'm still 14 on the inside. I just laughed. I just had a stupid thought, probably something I can't even say right now when you said that. But I mean, that's seriously. I mean, because I laugh doesn't mean it's not serious. But yeah, you're right. To protect ourselves, you know, you want to remember those things.
You know, kind of related to injury, like Ben was saying, you're afraid of injury, and so the way that we perceive pain, you know, it's do we shy away then from those things when we feel the least bit of pain, or do we try and push through and see, okay, is this something that's really serious, or is this something that, you know, might just be a one-off? D
Rose for the longest, everybody, you remember Derrick Rose? No, do you remember? That's sad. You know Derrick Rose. For the longest, they said that he was okay. Like, but he set the bench. I mean, he was on the bench to the point he got traded, you know, went and played for another team. But they said he was able to play. But it was like it was here because, like, I mean, I feel you, bro. Like, he used to fly, and then now, you know, you don't fly like you used to. But it's not because your muscles aren't able to do it. It's because your brain is telling you, like, oh, don't do that again. You remember what happened last time? Who was that? I watched a video of this guy running into the lane, and we've all seen those nasty videos where his bone just came straight out and ran straight into the ground. I'd never pick up another basketball again in my life if that happened. But absolutely, that's great. I just learned something. You do that to protect yourself. That's why? But I mean, some negativity. Maybe that's why. But some negative people, man, they could just bring you down, and you have to surround yourself by positivity. I've let a lot of we talked about it. I've let a lot of negative people affect me in my life, and I'm deciding, and I've said this, to take control and not let negativity reign in my life anymore, because I want something to happen with this, and it won't go anywhere. You know what I mean? It won't go anywhere unless I have to surround myself by positive people. I can motivate myself, but it can 1, 2, 3, 4 people can bring you back down.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. You were worried, and we're over time. Exactly how I told you it was going to
You
go.
were right. You were right, Ron.
I was supposed to. I say I was supposed to because my man. I told you about Greg. Great shout out to the Dope Living TV family. I always go over time. I didn't even take any. I didn't take any comments this time. I just got so. I love these lives because I get so into it that I forget. Like you guys were excellent, and I will tell you like I tell everybody else. Got to have you back on again. I got to. This is not the end. Matter of fact, I've been doubling back and redoing some of my interviews that I did. I did it. My man Rocka from Rocka Block T-shirts. No, he didn't do this T-shirt. Oh, yo, check this out. My homegirl, I'm not going to tell you who it is right now because I got it. She didn't even like this one, but this is dope to me. Thank you so much, Charlene Britt. And I will get the name. I said I wasn't going to say nothing, but I said I was going to tell because I forget the name of her company, but y'all check her out, man. There were people that are professional now, and they told me that this couldn't happen. They couldn't do this outline. She did an excellent job. Thank you so much. And where was I going with this? I do this at least once an episode. Yeah, we're done. Yeah, you guys did a great job. You thought, Sonia, you man, we got you going. And my man Ben over here, dude, you are wise beyond your years, man. My favorite saying is money is not the hottest commodity. And you kind of stole it during the show. Money is not the hottest commodity. Time is. And I'm always grateful when people give me their time. Thank you. Thank both of you guys.
Thank you, Ron.
Hey, yo, check us out. My man Dwayne, I think I say that I'm not going to do anymore, but I think we're going to get together. We got some things to talk about life. You might catch me with Life Coach Jeff. You might catch me on some off days because I'm kind of ready to like podcast and not get away from the ordinary people with extraordinary stories because I love this, but just kind of jump into some subject matter that I think needs to be talked about. I have the dopest conversations, not because I'm me. Sometimes it is with people, and I'm like, man, we have to record this. Hey, y'all, I don't know who's going to be on next week, but check me out.
But have you ever thought, what if this is all just a dream? And we're just waiting in line to wake up?
I forgot V&O, what you know.
And most people think I'm insane. Once you realize that all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you a prisoner of your own mind.